Man Up TV with Lucas and Joe, empowering you to rock out your health and your life. And today we're going to be talking about when you're making changes in your health, there's going to be some people from the past who might think it's a little weird. I know that's the case for me. I went to MIT and all my frat buddies back when I was a hard partying, pizza eating man. Then I turned from engineer to health coach, and they were like, "What are you doing, Joe?" So I know, Lucas, you kind of had the same thing going on for yourself, right?
Yeah, absolutely. When I got interested in nutrition, there were very few people around me, my family and friends. This was senior year of college when I first got interested, and there was not a whole lot of support
Mm-hmm.
around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess it's been about 10 years, 10 years, and something that my wife and I were talking about just this morning is this idea that, and it's been said before, I don't know where it comes from, but that you are a combination of the five people you spend the most time in. So
Mm-hmm.
that's interesting. I was looking at what are the five people or groups of people I spend the most time with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that would be my wife, my men's group, my client community, like the Man Up community, as well as clients here in Baltimore who are now friends, my family, and friends from the past.
Mm-hmm.
What I notice is compared to when I got started, I spend a lot more time with a lot more people who share my values and my commitment to health as well as happiness.
Mm-hmm.
And that it's incredible support.
Mm-hmm. So if a guy is looking to make changes in health, he wants to surround himself with people who are living that lifestyle and eating healthy and talking about health. Um, is that something that you'd recommend to people?
Yeah, obviously. And that's not always feasible. There's lots of people actually that either will, out of necessity or desire, will keep in our life who aren't there with us.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a percentage of those people, which is cool, who are actually ready and ripe for transformation,
Mm-hmm.
where they will be empowered and inspired and encouraged by what we're up to, and we can actually bring them along.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's a whole other group, and maybe the majority who aren't interested. They might even be resistant
Mm-hmm.
to what you're doing. Have you experienced that, Joe, at all?
Yeah, definitely a little bit. I know for sure in the first case, I was worried about, what are people going to think of my new lifestyle? But I found that a lot more people than I expected were really inspired and were really pulled along, so I was able to really contribute to those people. And they got inspired to make changes in their health after seeing me. But there's definitely been a few people who, are not into the whole gluten-free and quitting alcohol and that stuff that I'm into now, so I can definitely relate.
Yeah. And so there's a few tips that I just want to share. And I think we might do another video on this one, but there's a man in the Man Up right now, and it comes up every time. A lot of us can relate to it where we're going to go spend time with a group of people, whether it's a wedding or a family vacation or a work trip. We're going to be surrounded by people who don't share that commitment. And there's a few kind of guidelines that we find are most empowering. And the first is definitely share. Do not hide it and keep it to yourself and think that you're somehow a burden or you're somehow going to be faced with like ridicule or whatever it is and you can't handle it. The most powerful thing to do is, even if other people around you are going to be resistant or unsupportive, is to share.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing that, there's a couple things to keep in mind. Number one is always create the context, like the intention that everybody wins. So let's say it's family vacation. We're going to go on family vacation. I'm totally committed that you and everybody there has an absolute blast. And you and everybody there gets to eat whatever you want. And I just want you to know that I'm committed to eating clean and healthy because I want to feel my best and I'm losing weight or whatever it may be. And that's my choice. So you may not say it directly, but however you say it, you want them to really get that they're free, that you're making a choice. They're free to make their choice.
Mm-hmm.
By you making your choice, you're not judging anyone
Mm-hmm.
around you. So it's a choice, but it's also a commitment. You want to communicate to them that you are highly committed, that it's a choice you're making and you're committed to being successful with it. And then ask for their support. So once they know that there's no judgment, you don't care what they're doing, they're free to do what they want to do, then there's a space for them to actually look and see what, like, oh, well, Joe, how can I support you? And you might have some ideas about how you want them to support you. They might have ideas. And then lastly, and not in any order here, but another important piece is ask them, what are they committed to?
Mm-hmm.
You know, during the family vacation, during the wedding, during the conference, or wherever you're at, it's like, what would have this be amazing for you? What's something that you want me to know about that I can support you with?
Mm-hmm.
And they might actually have something that they weren't going to share there as well.
Mm.
So definitely share and create a partner. Create partners around you.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and I find having a sense of humor about it all is really important for me as well. Just, if somebody gives me a little hard time about what I'm up to, just going along with it, laughing, and just, like you said, really creating how can it be the most awesome for everybody. I think that's so important.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well,
Absolutely.
thank you, Lucas, for your insights today, and this has been another episode of Man Up TV. Thank you for watching. Please share if you think this would be helpful for somebody else in your life. We'll see you guys next time.